tonight is going to be focusing on bird night. Plenty of clay. Made another trip back to the art store today. Girls there are getting to know me quite well. And let's see. Move the cameras a little bit so you guys can see a little bit better. And put my link tree on top there because there was a lot of questions about that last night. Thank you, Kira. Yeah, man, maybe I might have to wear my glasses. I wonder how that would work actually. Let's put these on. See if this helps me any tonight. Well, they're dirty as hell because I just put clay finger primer in the middle of them. No, that makes it worse. All right, we're going commando on the eyes again. Okay. Go with something like that'd be cool. I think I shared last night that I've actually done a lot of computer-generated birds in my career. The first one is that I sculpted the falcons' faces on Stuart Little 2 way back in the day, circa 2001. Did Margot on that too. That was a little yellow bird. I don't remember what kind of bird that was. A little yellow one. Did her as well. That was actually my second bird, second and third bird. The first bird I did was the crow for the Crow 3. And then I think after those two, I got to do the iconic John Woo shot of a dove in Paycheck. That was pretty cool, just because it was John Woo. I mean, the shot was okay too. It was a dove flying right at the camera. I don't even remember how it looked, honestly. I mean, I remember the shot, but I'd have to see it again and be like, I don't know, might cringe if I saw it now, if any of you guys out there have Paycheck. Because I feel like it's gonna affect the composition of the piece and overall. Like the wings, the shape, I wanted this flow of the whole piece. Like the way this wing, if you think about it, there's this relationship between her body, the arms, and the wings, forming this big triangle. If I did it in isolation, I might miss that kind of compositional choice. Oh, thank you for that. Let's see. This is gonna be a huge pain in the ass. My arm in the front of the camera a lot. How much do you pieces go for? I haven't really been focusing on selling fine art. Professionally, I work in computer graphics. got paintings for sale. I haven't put any sculptures up for sale at all. But I got some paintings up for sale on the website there. I put the link tree up on the screen because last night there was a lot of confusion about that. You can get to like all my stuff through the link tree, the website, all the other social medias. I'm nobody to listen to me. Well, of course you're somebody. I appreciate that. I did want that flow like it was like the bird was landing, but I also think that your idea, I did consider that, is a good idea. You know, in retrospect, I think it would have been equally as good for it to be on the up. You know, feathers down like fingers on the way up would also be equally exciting. I think the parallel that I wanted is if you look at it from this, let me see if I can get to rotate the camera around here, rotate the sculpture around. So the relationship between the hair, the tail, and the wings, I think was more important to me to have this arcing U shape of between those two, within the hair and the bird. Let's see if there's any way I can see it from that camera angle at all. Kind of see it. Yeah, the bronze is I'm definitely gonna cast this in bronze, and it is going to be a pain in the buttocks to do so. Not to mention a lot of material. This thing is about 50 pounds just in clay. So it's easily going to be 100 in bronze. Little Louis Armstrong going on there. The stream is definitely going to get copyright flagged on YouTube. I've given up on trying to satisfy YouTube's demands, things like that. I have named this Hand of Fate. I actually don't like how voices though over my stream. It's conflicting. Yeah, Hand of Fate. That's what I'm naming this. Love me some Louis Armstrong, but maybe not during the stream. Yeah, Hand of Fate. That's what I want to name it. It's insane. Insanity. I hope insanity is a good thing. Insane. She's not Medusa, but there is a Medusa painting on my website, if that's what you're asking about. I painted a Medusa. She's, you know, I wanted her hair to look like it was made of flame. That's why it's kind of got the serpentine shapes. Definitely a lot of people have thought, hey, is that Medusa? So you're not alone, by any means. A lot of people don't really mind. If the mistake is made that it's Medusa, I'm not gonna cry about it. It's okay with me. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. I definitely put a lot of forethought. Like I kind of sat and stared at this thing a lot about the composition. Although it's definitely evolved. Like even people's suggestions in the stream have improved it. You know, much like I'm sorry, I forgot who said it, but the idea of the wings being down, that would have been a very valid consideration. Yeah, you can actually go to the YouTube and you can see every step. Every step is documented. I think it starts on January 7th and goes to now. Now there was an entire week there I missed because I was sick, and you know, a few hours here and there. I think I'm up to maybe 55 hours or something like that, if I had to guess. You like the cloth coverage? Yeah, she's holding a phoenix. So if you look closely, let's see if you can see that. Yeah, that camera angle, you'd see phoenix landing in her hand, right? So that's the metaphor of reincarnation and that sort of thing. But in this case, the story I wanted to tell is she's holding a knife. She's accepting it. She's willingly accepting the phoenix to land in her hand, but she's going to sacrifice it. She's going to sacrifice this phoenix by her own hand with that knife. And in so doing, take control of her own destiny, you know? Take control of her own destiny. Choose to manifest herself, reincarnate herself. What I don't like about the phoenix metaphor is it always seems like this passive thing. Like the phoenix just reincarnates and you watch it and you just sit there with this little metaphor that you subscribe to, but it's not an active thing. You're not manifesting the reincarnation. You're just letting the phoenix. So in this case, this woman is, she's got a pleasant smile on her face, a little sardonic, maybe a little sad, but still, this is still an act of love, maybe a sad love. And she's essentially going to sacrifice her phoenix to become the next version of herself. That's the story I'm trying to tell. Or at least the story means to me. If it means something to you, awesome. In fact, I'd like to hear it. So you got long feathers to add. Well, I mean, there's only so much you can do with clay. There's pretty long feathers on it right now. But yeah, I'm gonna push it as far as I can. I mean, right now I've got this whole thing balanced on her hand. I'm pushing the limits of physics. One thing I did last night that I really liked, if you guys can see, you can see from that camera right there. Last night I melted, I'll show you. I melted this clay in the oven, brought it down here, put it on a hot pad, and poured clay to make this base. The base is, if you can see from above, is the shape of a shadow of her and the bird. So a little Jungian psychology there, and I wanted it to look like it was fluid. So I poured it in a sloppy mess. So that's what's going on there. Good evening. Oh my God, I can't see. Oh, Karma, yes, I remember you. How you doing? Well now. What just happened to oh, that's weird. Moved on to the next song. All right. Cool tunes, thank you. I don't know why that one's abruptly stopped, but yeah, thank you. This is gonna be such a massive pain in the buttocks to sculpt this bird like this. But I chose my fate, just like our subject here. Yeah, I don't know how you could possibly get into a phoenix and sacrifice and things like that without getting into Carl Jung. He's kind of dominated the modern academics anyway on the subject. You did some art today, nice. Well, I mean, I think that obviously, I don't invite you to self-judge or self-talk about your art. Like, my point is the act of doing is the thing that matters. And yeah, I don't like voices. The self-talk is not helping you. It's not helping anyone. Just keep moving forward, keep creating. That's the trick. appreciate the you bringing it up. What did you say before? Keep creating. Absolutely. Yes. My philosophy, what I'm trying to promote here on this stream, is the idea of make art every day. Because that's not just a personal mantra, and it's not even just a feel-good thing. It's literally, I think we could save Earth as we know it with the philosophy of, have you made art today? And I'll explain what that means. When somebody makes art, their mind shifts to a role of creation has value. I'm creating something and it has value. And when you have inherent assigned value to something you create, you will inherently have value assigned to creation in general, things that are created, other people's creation. Creation itself has value. When you are a creator, creation has value. And I think that you shift your mindset, if it wasn't there before, from being a taker of the world around you to being a maker, constructing things. And if our leaders all essentially had 1 hour of arts and crafts every day, their brain would shift from being a taker to being a maker. And that small change is all it would take. Everything else would flow from that, in my opinion. So, did you make art today? For me is, in my opinion, one of the things that, or the one thing I can do, I should say, to contribute to the collective unconscious. Of the internet and the streaming world. Have you made art today? And I don't think, and definitely, as I said earlier, you shouldn't self-talk and qualify, did I make good art? And I don't think art needs to be limited to sculpture, painting, drawing, or even something tactile. There was a guy that came to the stream for a long time, and he was a caregiver to his disabled brother. And I'm like, dude, that is art, right? You are manifesting the perception of reality in someone else's mind. You're making this brother of yours reality a positive place to be. So you're creating art in his mind, which gets to my other philosophy of what is art. Art isn't clay or paint. Art is that moment when there's a spark in the mind of the consumer, the person that's consuming it, the observer, right? And that's, when you look at it, you are now an active participant in the art because you're creating it in your mind. So if that's true, or if you subscribe to that, then him constructing the reality for his brother of joy is art. Does that make any sense? Anybody care? I don't have to talk about that if nobody wants to hear about it. You're a gardener, absolutely. You get to experience literally bringing something to life. It's temporally ephemeral. It won't be here very long. This is a tree, it'll be here longer than us. But, you know, it's existing in your mind as art, any other observer as art, and you literally get the duality of the fact that it changes over time and grows organically. So that's pretty damn cool. Well, of course cooking can be art. I mean, somebody puts it in their mouth. Well, you get to experience cooking in so many senses, right? You get the smell, the sight, the texture, pretty much all the senses, and then taste. So pretty much all senses are appealed by food. So I would say it's a very, I would say in that regard, I would say food is an extremely holistic art form, right? I mean, what I'm doing applies to the visual, potentially could appeal to the physical, tactile, if you touched it. For me, it's definitely tactile as well as olfactory. I can smell it, but limited number, which, you know, nothing wrong with the limited number. The limited number brings about its own energy. But yeah, I'm just saying that food is most definitely in the realm. Thank you, Jamie. Yeah, if we can. Why do I keep getting vocals? I don't like vocals on the stream. Love the vocals in general, but not on the stream. Let's see what else we can find here. That sounds pretty cool. Time for a blues break. Gug-a-lug, Donna. I think it's better. Hey, beach walks, wasabi. My new favorite person. Wow, that's a lot of responsibility. I don't know. I kind of got Beau today because I was working all day outside. So you only have to deal with the auditory and the visual. So I guess maybe that helps. Well, Leah Samantha Lewis. There's two philosophies on that one. I think of it as the Leonardo versus the Michelangelo. Specialize, diversify. They each have power. Having experience in many things brings experience to one profoundly. So I would by no means berate yourself for complexity of experience. I mean, the complexity of my experience is a little staggering. I spent the last 2 years in Tokyo working for Toyota on autonomous cars. So, yeah, I'm not, I'm, I guess by that definition, in the Leonardo camp. Although I prefer Michelangelo aesthetically. It's taken me a few months to kind of evolve this overall experience that I wanted to. I started streaming for the very first time in late August, September, really, September. And so it took me a little while to really realize what I wanted, how I wanted this experience to flow. And I feel like it's kind of coming into its own. Maybe it's telling me how it wants to flow. I'm just passenger in my own stream. Thank you, Patricia. Thank you. Raku. Raku is in the Japanese pottery. Well, of course. That's where you fire it underground at a lower temperature, oftentimes breaking it, which gets into a different philosophy, the wabi-sabi. You break it, and well, that's not the only exclusive name of it, but yeah, the idea that something broken has strength and value beyond where it was before. And Raku oftentimes, not always, but oftentimes embraces that. Next step to preserve your beautiful piece. Well, after I get done squishing clay around, honestly, to be honest, I'll probably do a safety check, which means I'll do a 3D scan of it, which brings it into my experience of, you know, professional experience. I'll just do that to have it. But then I'll come back and brush on silicone out of 1/2 inch thick over the whole thing. And on top of that, then I'll create a fiberglass structure around it that will be rigid. Pull that off in pieces, and then I will cast it in resin, which means pour resin into, we'll put the fiberglass around the silicone, the negative space. I'll fill the hole that we created by this so that this will not exist in the mold. Pour resin into there, and then it'll come out as this like kind of really strong plastic feeling kind of material, resin. And then based on the success of that, I will make a wax mold of it. And the reason for that is I can then make a cast of it. I'm sorry, I'll make a wax cast of it, because then I can make a plaster mold of that, get it hot, and the wax will melt out. So now I'll have this plaster shell around this. It'll be negative space plaster. I can pour alloy into that. The plaster can withstand the heat of the alloy, but is then brittle. So when it cools, I can break the plaster off. So my intention is to have two versions of this, a resin and an alloy. And the reason why is because, like I said earlier, I think art is in the experience happening in the observer's mind, and I want that to happen. I want that art to exist in people's minds, and so it has to be accessible. Bronze is probably going to be expensive. So I'll make a limited number of bronze for people that want it, and then I'll make resins so it can be out there more. Yeah, probably a bronze. You know, but I'm open. I'm not actually set. There was someone talking about rose. Was it rose bronze? Rose something the other night, and it looked gorgeous when I looked it up. That would be cool. Like a rose copper bronze would be just gorgeous, right? So that's a distinct possibility. Make a Medusa. I might make a Medusa. I do. I love figured. I'm a figurative artist. I love male figures. But I really, at least at this point in my life, I'm really resonating with female figures. And I think it's, if anything, to do as much with the narrative. You know, like I feel like this is a feminine piece. I could do this with a male. I could have done male figure, but I feel like this story resonates female. And I don't know, maybe it's just, this is my midlife crisis. I'm having a lot of feminine feelings. Or at least the feminine side of my psyche is perhaps awakening. Maybe that's a better way to say it. So for example, there is a piece I was considering. It was actually a brainstorm here on the stream, and I'm not sure I'm going to do this, but I am considering it. And it was the idea of the archers of Lesbos, which was an Amazonian tribe, and at least the mythology is that these women would cut off one breast so that they could shoot archery without the string hitting the breast. And I really just like that from this, you know, this strength of purpose and this sense of value to the tribe and commitment. And I just saw this strong, defiant, like beautiful but strong woman standing, you know, openly like that. And like that's, I don't know, something about that image really stuck in my head. So I don't know, I might do that. I don't know. You know, it also might actually, I don't really intentionally get into politics, well, social things, but I mean, it might resonate with women that are suffering from freaking breast cancer. They might identify with it, and it might have value to them beyond just the aesthetic. It might be like, because what is mythology? It's a story that empowers us. Mythology is stories that empowers us. And if that mythology would empower a woman going through that, Jesus Christ, that'd be great. That'd be amazing. So anyway, that is a piece I was considering. I've had a piece in my mind. I've also been considering a couple. I've been considering for a long, long time. I just haven't done as well. One is of like a figure reaching down, you know, and holding someone else, like a hand coming up from the bottom of the sculpture, but a disembodied hand. Not that it's amputated, but rather just a hand that's going into the abyss, you know, belongs to someone who's not, you can't see, and she's holding it, but then reaching up as if asking for help from someone else, you know, kind of like saying, I'm doing everything I can here, I'm saving someone, and just, I need this figure, I need someone from above, I just need this little bit, you know, God, where are you, kind of thing. And that one's kind of resonated with me for a while. I've never really explored that. I don't know if you could visualize what I said, it was a little abstract. I have a more fantastical piece that I've been considering recently. It's been in my mind, and it's multi-figure. And again, this one gets really kind of, I don't know, personally metaphorical. I don't know. Tell me what you think. I'm curious to what thinks. I have to see this vision of a minotaur, bullhead man, on his knees and leaning on one hand, and he's obviously in pain and dying. He's down low, but he's holding an infant in one arm, you know, but it looks like he's bleeding out. He's got blood on the ground. He's dying, and he's holding this infant, trying to protect it, and standing in front of him. Standing in front of him, I have this vision of a woman, like she's ready for war, and she's standing with her back to the minotaur and the child, as if she's protecting them from this unknown, you know, not part of the sculpture, from this unknown threat, you know, and she's this vicious, you know, as if to say this minotaur is through this huge battle. He's obviously this big, powerful beast. Whatever it is that was able to hurt him is obviously extremely powerful, but then this woman who's, you know, at least by scale, not nearly as massive or imposing, is defiant and unafraid, and is defending. I like that image. Does that make any sense? Oh wow, okay. Mayan moon goddess. Mothers are raw. Exactly. That's definitely a mother kind of role I was just describing. Yeah, mothers give no shits. Mothers are like, I don't care. You know, don't fuck with my kid. Yeah, that was a very much a mother theme, I guess that was described, right? Maybe it's my mother. She's pretty raw. Well, yeah, in this depiction, this father is by no means weak or passive. He's this big, powerful beast of an animal that has been protecting his child from the unknown. So yeah, I mean, obviously, as a father, I'm not trying to tell a story of diminishing the value of the father in the story. I'm starting to like the mask I got on this bird, finally. It's getting freaking huge. I definitely did not intend this bird to get this big when I started. Holy smokes. Yeah, well, this is an oil-based clay, so unfortunately I don't get to just throw it in a kiln and call it a day. This will not set. If I put it in a kiln, it would just melt and go away. So I've got to mold it, cast it in another material. It's great for working because this is never gonna. I work on this for years if I want to. Thank you, Rox. No such thing as a small phoenix. I like your argument. No such thing as a small phoenix. Although for some reason I kind of envision Napoleon Dynamite saying that. God! So such thing as a small phoenix. God! Made me laugh anyway, I don't know. Yeah, well, if you look at the scale, like one of his wings, I say his, the bird's wings are kind of approximately the mass of her hair. So there's this triangle. This whole piece is about triangles. Triangles here, triangles there, triangles here, triangles up front here. This whole piece is about triangles, compositionally. So there's a triangular relationship between the wings and her head. What are my phoenix tots? I actually made my kids tater tots tonight for dinner. I couldn't stop chuckling. I just kept thinking on Napoleon. I'm like, nobody's gonna get this joke, so I'm not gonna tell it. But if you're in the Kansas City area, which is where I am now, I moved from Los Angeles to Kansas City during COVID, and if you're in the Kansas City area, I'm about 6 months, this is going to be at a gallery here in Kansas City. And you get to reset. I've got paintings and drawings. I put the link tree up there because everyone was asking last night. You can go to the various resources, their website or TikTok, whatever. And I sell the drawings and paintings if you want to. They're drop shipped, but I really like the quality coming out printful, like really good quality. It's a little slow. It's annoying, a little bit slow, but quality's great. So you can get drawings that I've done if you like any of those. I don't have any sculptures up, but I will. Like I said, I'm gonna make this a resin. So any of those. 8 minutes ago. My design with a picture in mind. No. I mean, I had a couple references when I started photographically. Who's that actress that played the mother in Dune? Was on my mind when I was sculpting the face. Honestly, a lot of this female figure is probably affected, if not inspired, by my wife. She kind of looks like this. But no, I didn't. I tried not to have an objective or any kind of rote dictum or anything like that because I wanted to stay in an exploratory state. And I'm really glad I did because there was a lot of discovery in this process. There still is discovery happening. A lot. So. Oh, that's all right. I do and say plenty of things that piss her off too. So we'll say positive things to you guys. Rebecca Ferguson, exactly. Yeah, she's got. I mean, I haven't finished the face. I'm gonna go back and finish it. I will probably actually bring a picture of her, a little inspiration when I go back to finish the face. She's got a pretty amazing structure. I'm not really into the whole celebrity thing. Like, I don't do celebrity idealizing, especially having worked on a lot of movies and met a lot of celebrities. I'm just not like I don't participate in that mindset. But from an aesthetic point of view, I mean, okay, you see someone like her and you're like, well, that's inspiring, but not for the Hollywood reasons. Years of your husband. Goodness. That is a minute. That is more than double mine. I've been married for 16. That's been a challenge. You know, in a lot of ways. It just is, right? Life's a challenge. I just spent a year and a half in Tokyo, and I wanted the family to come. She didn't. So I was alone in Tokyo for a year and a half. I mean, not entirely. Like, I came back. There was a lot of commuting. They came to visit me for the school summer. They were in Tokyo with me. I came back several times and things like that. But yeah, it was a stressful time. And returning them was stressful. Reintegration. That's just an example. Like, it wasn't necessarily bad. It wasn't like something bad happened. But it was a stressful dynamic for sure. It's a challenge. Life is a challenge. Where's Madonna said? Life is a mystery. 36th of March. Good. River City, hello. How are you, Miss Raven? Lurking, are we? I was just telling everyone about the future Kansas City endeavor here, which I'm expecting to see you at some point. I was on site to the building today in River Market, installing Starlink on the roof. That was a party. Good night, Teresa. I'm glad you showed up. We'll be back Monday. Monday through Thursday is generally my commitment. Speaking of marriage, my commitment to this is Monday through Thursday. So I'll be back on Monday if you want to come back and check it out. We'll try to keep it exciting and interesting anyway. But again, I'm loving your participation. That's part of what makes it exciting. It's not about me. Charmed one, hello. All right, what to do? Let's take a step back. Let's drink a little wine, look at where we are, make a choice moving forward. I like that the sculpture's off weight a little bit because it's just there and turns on its own when I'm out here. Gives you different views. I am going to cast this in bronze. That is the intention. I'll probably make a resin initially. Check it out, and then I'll make bronze. I might consult with a few people. I bring some forgers on. What red? What am I drinking? This is not anything particularly fancy, but I'm enjoying it. Where's the camera right now? It is Gnarly Head, Grateful Dead branded red wine. It is a Lodi Zinfandel, which I do like. Lodi Zinfandel. It's an area north, mid-state, mid-California, between San Francisco and Los Angeles. Lodi has some really nice Zinfandels. Honestly, almost anything that says Lodi Zinfandel is good. Even if it's not good, it's pretty good. Okay, the tail is not making it right now. We need to figure that out. What are we gonna do? What to do? I think it's gonna need a little bit of wire support. Let's give it one. This is wild. Thank you. And this, I never made an association between Zinfandel and Zen. I like that. I like that you did. Yes. It makes sense. You're very Zen. It's funny. I went to buy more clay today. More clay. Where's the camera now? These girls are getting to know me on a first name basis at the art store. Every day I think I can't possibly need more clay. And then I put on more clay. This thing is massive. It's like, I don't know, 50 some pounds. It's probably 55 pounds, honestly, at this point. Just in clay. A lot of clay. Thank you, Dawson. I appreciate you. I'm actually new to all of this. I started streaming. I mean, not completely new. I started streaming in September-ish. And I've only been on TikTok for a little while. I think the account is maybe a few months old, but I didn't really start streaming until like November, December. Really December, I think. And honestly, even at that, I didn't put a lot of effort into it. I'd say January. Really, this sculpture has been my, like let's put effort into this. And I've been really pretty impressed and surprised and happy with the response. In that, like, the TikTok has a bad reputation, or has a reputation anyway, of being a very kind of flippant or something. I don't know, a less serious platform, but. In my experience thus far, there have been a lot of mindful people, a lot of thoughtful people, a lot of interesting people here, more so than even other platforms. Thank you, Tessa. Is this for a client or for sale? Well, in my opinion, as I've expressed before in this stream, the client in this scenario is you. I'm making this for you. And for this experience. I just ran out of clay. I gotta open it up. Open a new package. Yeah, I think that beyond the clay, part of the art that's being created here is the performance art of our interactions. We are creating the art. This is a social performance art, and we're doing it together. So in that regard, you're the client and the partner. But no, I did not do this. No one commissioned me to do this. I just decided to do it. I will likely, I want to make it available to people because, as I've expressed my opinion, the art exists in the eye and mind of the person consuming the art or participating in the art visually, cognitively, more importantly. That'd be you. So I want to get it out there into the world. So I'll probably come up with a you know, I weigh for it to do so at a price point that can be done, and that'll probably be a resin cast of this. But at the same time, you know, I can't help and resist. I would love to see this in an alloy like bronze. So it will likely, my intention is to make a bronze cast of this as well. Thank you. Okay, I feel like this is too bulbous. See if I can avoid stitches. All this edge is pretty used, it's pretty dull. I could use a laser printer, that's right. I was considering, but I might, before I get into the next step, I will probably make a 3D scan of it to have it. And honestly, there's a temptation in me I wouldn't call it cheat, I think it's just embrace technology, because I could make a wax 3D print of this and go straight to, from that, go straight to a plaster mold, pour plaster on it, and then from there, melt out the wax, pour in the bronze. That's gonna be the super simplest way to go about this, is 3D scan it, print it as wax, pour plaster on it, melt out the wax, pour in some bronze. Like, bam, that's the simple way. Yeah, well, I've also spent, for me, it's a little bit different. I've spent my entire career in technology. I worked in visual effects. I worked in a lot of movies doing visual effects. You know, this is like second nature for me. I don't want to ruin my own experience, but I really don't think that would ruin my experience to do so. I think it's you know, it's a technical skill. Whether you're casting and molding traditionally, or you're doing something like we just talked about, it's still a technical skill. You know, so you're no longer sculpting; it's a technical execution. So is it, you know, is there any authenticity in doing it the old way? I mean, not necessarily, still technical execution, right? And it would definitely be safer, probably more accurate, safer, as in I have no danger of destroying it in the process. More likely to succeed if I did do a 3D scan of it and print wax from that and go straight to alloy. You know, I'd have to resist the temptation to get in there and ZBrush and start sculpting. Hello, Maddie. How are you? Thank you. Appreciate you. I feel like there was a very sincere contribution from you. Is it sad when you finish a piece? It's not sad. I'll tell you why. I think it's because when it's done, it's done, right? And I'm ready to let it go and let it be what it is. It's a little, you know, a little like parenting, which I haven't hit the stage of parenting yet, where I let my kids out into the world. Actually, Maddie's more familiar with it because her parents have, to some extent. But to that end, I do think, like with the drawings, it's like all of a sudden you kind of just know it. Like, I'm just gonna keep going. When I flip from I'm no longer exploring and I'm starting to I'm starting to try to impress people with how by finishing, then I know it's time to be done. I'm not exploring anymore. Then I'll know that it's time to be done. And I think when that moment comes for me, at least with painting and drawing, I just know it. It's like, okay, we're done. It happened just then, just now. And this is definitely a process, but then the excitement comes from whatever's next, the next piece. Yes, Maddie, she's holding a knife. That is part of the narrative. Okay, let's take a step back. I like the idea of trying to make not only the bird look like flames, but like flames with flowing down her arm. But right now, it just looks like there's some kind of a diseased root structure growing down her arm. So I'm gonna have to do some work. I mean, they're gonna have to. There's a reasoning behind it, a structural reasoning, and a narrative. Structural is because I think the wrist needs more support, needs to be more material there. Metaphorically, it's like I like the idea of it bonding with her, with the flames, her holding the flames. She's touching the flames, but not burned. But right now, I'm failing. It's all right, user. I get you. Thank you. Tracy Lynn Johnson. That's a person who's not afraid to use their real name, well, presumably. Although if that's a made-up name, that's impressive. Mr. Anderson. So I did not work on The Matrix in my many movies. However, my first office for my studio that I owned and ran was in the studio where they made The Matrix. So in the entranceway to my studio was the two red chairs from the first Matrix, where Neo gets explained to him what the Matrix is. Those two red chairs were in the entranceway of my studio for a few years. This is way back, circa 2006. Hey, Romy, what's up? I've been talking about you repeatedly. Like, it's your fault that this tail is so out of control. All your fault. Look what you did. Look at the size of this tail. You can't. The camera isn't wide enough. Rotate it around. The size of this damn tail because of you. Thank you. All your fault, man. Hope you're losing sleep over it. Well, user, this is how TikTok works. It definitely just pump and dumps. It's like, let's see, if you look at it for more than a couple seconds, it gets registered as positive for you, and bam, it's all up in your business from that point forward. So I guess what I'm saying is expect a lot of me in your feed from now. Although following would probably help if you want to come back. Wow. All right, Roni. Dude, it's heavy. Someone literally has a hexadecimal name. That's cute. I'll respond in source code. Perhaps it beeps like a fax machine. Oh, that's an ancient Chinese secret. How to change your cameras on TikTok. Mr. Hexadecimal Name might figure it out. I wrote a little bit of software that controls the feed going to a virtual camera, which then is feeding into the TikTok studio. I did that because people kept asking me, because they couldn't see what I was working on, right? And so I moved the camera over there, and I thought that aesthetically looked good, but then I realized it completely blocked everyone from seeing what I was doing. So I'm like, okay, let's just get this thing moving. So I put up 3 cameras, wrote a script to transition in a virtual camera. Every 20 seconds, does a 3-second feed, I think. And then that virtual camera fed into TikTok. Thank you. Thank you very much. An actual. An actual. Well, I'm not feeling like a genius right now because this isn't working. I don't want it to work. Good evening. Let's see. Sorry over here. Oh, Roni. Oh, dude, you were over on the Twitch, and I didn't notice. By the way, am I pronouncing your name when I say Roni? Is it Roni or Ronai or Ronnie? How do you pronounce it? Good night, user. Oh, the Hungo. Let me take a look here. Yeah, that's kanji. I'm not gonna get it. That's a whole lot of kanji. I'm not that good. I did live in Japan for a year and a half, and kanji was something I just decided, nope. Just not gonna do that. Yeah. Roni. Okay. Roni. All right, I'll keep going. Okay, I'll continue. This is an expensive form of art. Well, I've got probably 10 plus, 10, 11, 12 of these blocks of clay in there, and they're 17 a piece. So, you know, a chunk of money. This is probably 100 and whatever, you know, $70 of clay. It wouldn't have to be. If I planned it better, I would have used more tinfoil for a filler, which would have kept it lighter too. But yeah, this is an oil-based clay, so I will bronze. This is going to become a bronze. Yes, that is the intention. I'm going to make a resin, and I'll make a bronze. Real person's size. I don't know what that means. Kind of. I almost got that kanji, that name, but no, I failed. Never mind. It's still, some of it's still in my head, and then some is not. And I lose it. Sitting with Russian. I had a lot of Russian on my head at one point. I had an office in Moscow, software development company. And I was going back and forth. This is circa 2008, 9, 10. Spent a lot of time in Moscow. That's back when we looked, at least I thought Moscow or Russia was, you know, was like an edgy version of Europe. I got really close to going native. I really did. You know, I had an office there, a company there. Got close to going native in old Moscow. It was exciting, you know. You can imagine a 30-something-year-old kid. I think that's exciting. Well, 3 things you can count on. That's, I don't know, can you count on 3 things? Sounds like a lot. What the hell am I gonna do with that? It's not working. Russia, Japan, an artistic process. You're right. Well, what's your favorite blue flower? I feel like that's a very loaded question. Blue flower. What's that from? What movie is the blue flower? Oh, it's Batman, right? The first Chris Nolan Batman was a blue flower, right? Oh, Naomi. I know a girl in Japan went by the name Naomi. I don't know what her Japanese name was. All right, well, I will, Alejandro, I'll check you out. Wow, I don't know what you're talking about, Panda, but that sounds like a party. You seriously want to know my favorite blue flower, not the opium thing from Batman? Jesus. Favorite blue flower. Blue flower. Isn't the poppy blue? Isn't the opium actually blue? Can't remember. Wow. I mean, the only thing that comes to mind is the violet. You know, it's not necessarily an answer your question, but it makes me think of this painting called Christine's World, I think it was. And it was about a woman that was crippled. And she was in a flower field, and it was very beautiful. It looked like Kansas, and the house was off in the distance, and it was very picturesque. You had to know narratively that she was crippled in order to understand the story. So it's like she was in this beautiful place that looked very serene. But if you realize that the subject is crippled, it's like, well, now she's isolated and trapped and can't get home, and the entire story changes as soon as you understand who Christine is. It's by, God damn it, I'm having an elder moment. The artist is, oh my God, somebody help me. Who's the artist? Yeah, I'm gonna make this some bros. Jump topics. Right, the painting is near your feelings. You look it up, yeah. Well, hello, Andrew. Welcome. Talking about art, philosophy, life, spirituality, reincarnation, clay, process, art process, and we're talking about everything, Andrew. So come on in. Yes, Wyeth, Andrew Wyeth. Thank you. God damn, I was gonna have a. Who is the son of? Oh God, I swear to God, maybe I drink too much. N.C. Wyeth. N.C. Wyeth is one of the founders of illustration in the United States. His son, Andrew Wyeth, did Christine's World. Yes, good God. And her home is far away. Exactly. If you didn't know that the subject matter was literally crippled, the subject matter that he was painting about, it wouldn't seem, it would just be pretty. Well, Andrew, that's a hard question to answer because I went to art school in the 90s, where I studied a little bit of sculpture academically, a lot of figurative work, studied anatomy, got to study over ye old Columbia Medical School. I got to dissect that sort of thing. But my career has been digital, so I sculpted a lot of digital characters from movies. First big one was the original Harry Potter. And so I've been working digitally most of my career. So I haven't worked in clay in quite a while, honestly. It's my first time in clay in a while, so this is me kind of, you guys are witnessing me remembering who I am, for lack of a better way of saying it. Who am I? To quote the, what was that, the centipede from Alice in Wonderland. Who are you? God damn, that bird is big. This thing has gotten out of control, and it's your fault, Ronnie. Your fault. Your fault. Hold on. All the negative consequences are on you. Where'd my tool go? There it is. Bullying that damn bird. I don't know what that means, but I like it. Bullying the damn bird. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of just playing back here because this all needs work. But at the same time, I'm processing, like, what am I going to do with this? This is not working. I want it to be flame, as if her hand is embraced with flames. I have not achieved that. I don't think anybody would think it's that. No, it looks more like the bird is growing tentacles like the thing that are latching onto her. That is not the goal. So, I mean, obviously having things going up, defying gravity, would it be, well, let's try it. Let's see what happens. Where am I from? Well now, Rose, where are you from? I grew up here in the Midwest, in Missouri. That's where I grew up. And honestly, as a child, I couldn't wait to get the hell out of here. I was dying to get out of here as a child. I went to New York at 19, went to art school there. And after that, I went to Los Angeles, worked on movies for a couple decades. And I have very good friends, very, very good life friends that are still here in the Midwest. And we still, actually Maddie is their daughter. She was on here a little bit ago. I don't know if she's still on. So it's not that I have anything inherently against the Midwest or the people here. It's just I had to get the hell out. And I did. And spent a couple decades in LA. Well, other places, Moscow, all over Europe, Prague, blah, blah, blah. COVID came along and I found myself homeschooling, I have 3 kids and all that kind of stuff. So I came back to the Midwest. So I'm in Kansas City now. And I think, for one, I think the world has changed. Kansas City's changed. I think the world has changed, however. Access is completely different. You know, we have access to the world. We can be anywhere. We can have anything. I'm connecting with you people all over the world right now. So it's very different than when I was a kid. The isolation when I was a child was debilitating. And that's just not the case now. Yeah, so I've got the link tree, by the way. I put it up there because everyone's having a hard time. There's a link tree up there to everything, if you want to get to it. All right, so yes, sorry, I totally went off on a diatribe though. Yes, I see your mom and family are from Missouri. Thank you. Thank you. It's Ronnie. You're out, man. All right. Well, thank you. Thanks for checking in. Appreciate you. I will be, tonight's Thursday, so I'll be back on Monday evening. Depending on where in the world you are, I will be back. I have lots of exciting things to share with you as well about the gallery / nightclub developments today. So we can talk about that next week because there'll be even more then. So go get your sleep. Have a good weekend. Appreciate you for showing up and your terrible, terrible ideas. Thank you, Jennifer. You love my ideas. Well, unfortunately, I did love at least this one. I don't know what other ideas you had. I'm not taking credit / blame. But I did love this one enough that I did I wouldn't call it a setback, but change in direction. It's working. It is, I think, working. I think compositionally it's working brilliantly. I love the composition change. With the relationship between the tail and her hair. If anything, the tail's too big. Honestly, I think I might have gone too big on the tail, but whatever, it works. We'll work it out. We'll work it out together over time. How about that? Think Aria. Aria. You know what you made me think of, Aria? So I did a commercial for the Aria hotels in Las Vegas. It was very, very sexy. A couple of Russian models that were pretending to be maids, and they were making pixie dust as they changed the room. I made the pixie dust. When you're working as a visual effects artist, sometimes you take the job in front of you. And I did. With Aria Hotel in Las Vegas. Thank you, Donnie. Wow, well, thank you, Jennifer. We've got some work yet to go, but it is feeling like it's coming into its own a little bit, right? It's a teenager. The sculpture's a teenager right now. You can see where it's headed. Like my son's, my 15-year-old, who's almost as tall as me. You can see where he's going. Kid's gonna be goddamn enormous. Thank you, Donnie. And most importantly, I don't think my 15-year-old is going to be enormous. It's going to be my biggest child. My youngest is there a word like Goliathian? Does that word exist? Could you say Goliathian? My youngest is just silly big. He is, let's see now. They keep changing in age. He is 13. Kid's huge. He's on a soccer team, and he's like literally a foot taller than everybody. I don't know how old he's like 5. How freaking cold big is this? He's not 5'8" or 9, and he's 13. And I was a late bloomer. My freshman year, I was 5'4", and I'm 6'4" now, or I might have been more at one point. I don't know. Never measured. So I grew a foot in high school. The kid's, he's like 5'8" now. He's freaking 13. What the hell is going on with this generation of children? They're enormous. Thank you. I actually went for it. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret there. Tessa, here's the secret. I mounted the microphone to the bottle of wine because, yes, I agree with you. The sound of wine pouring is therapeutic. I did that on purpose. Thank you for appreciating. It makes me feel appreciated. So here's a twist. I'm going to tell you a whole long story right now, Tessa. I hope you're ready. So I'm starting this gallery nightclub with some partners here in Kansas City. And the guy that approached me to start this is, I mean, he's got to be a certifiable insane person because his ideas are so like not normal, they're exciting, they're stimulating, and it's more like a normal person having my thoughts. That's what it feels like. I look at it like you look and act like a normal person, and you're having my kind of thoughts. So, specifically, thank you, Jennifer and Lily. One of the ideas of a third floor of this nightclub. This is a huge nightclub, 23,000 square foot nightclub we're making. And the third floor, we're going to make a private club, and it's going to be like a speakeasy, sexy type of place you hear this kind of music. And I'm going to rig that bar with cameras everywhere, and I'm going to light it like it's a Hollywood set, and I'm going to put microphones everywhere, and then I'm going to write some artificial intelligence software that's going to cut. And so if you're in the private club, you're basically saying, I want to be an extra in your film. And it's going to be a film production, kind of like this stream. And we're going to stream it. So if you're part of the private club, you're part of our stream. And it's going to do a lot of camera cuts to the most exciting angles and what's happening at that moment in the club. And that's the baseline. But on top of that, then we'll come up with plot driving elements, like things that will make it interesting, like, okay, someone in the room is the murderer. Who is it, right? And now you've got all these live people participating in this kind of like reality television, kind of like live streaming experience. And we're going to stream it inside a speakeasy. It's going to be freaking awesome. So, there you go. I just totally diatribed on you. What do you think of the idea? I'd like your guys' feedback, honestly. What do you think of that idea? As long as there's no pizza. Not sure what your problem with pizza is, but okay. Maybe that's a reference I'm not getting. Pizza. What reference could that be? I don't know. You lost me, dude. There's definitely no pizza in Clue. So, don't know what that means. This is my hobby or profession. That's a really good question. I don't know that I have either. I don't know. My last actual job was working for Toyota in Tokyo, where I worked on autonomous cars. I left there in last May. So I don't really have a profession. I mean, that's not true. Like right now I'm doing some visual effects for some movies. But most of my time and effort is on this nightclub gallery idea that we just talked about, in which case this art will get exhibited there. How will my art play into it? So, I'm streaming right now, right? We have 3 levels. The first floor is gonna be all digital, huge video walls of 3D, real-time, interactive digital art, which I'm gonna create. Second floor is gonna be the human component. That's where performance, bands, contortionists, performance, whatever it is, I'll perform there, likely same schedule, like Monday through Thursday. I'll be doing my thing live from the second floor. And the third floor will then be where we do the members only club that we just talked about. This building is goddamn enormous. So like, it's gonna be quite a place. Am I gonna paint the sculpture? No, I am not gonna paint the sculpture. It's not my jam. I like the 3D form. I don't like to paint it. How are there not more people here? Well, you know what? Invite your friends, and there will be. Follow and invite your friends. Then there'll be more people. I've only been doing this like, 2 months or something, all right? So I'm totally new to all of this, honestly. This is not like, this is new. This is all new to me. So, I'm loving it, and I'm actually loving the experience. Some really thoughtful people that are showing up in here that I am appreciating. And I'm surprised. I'm not gonna lie to you. I am very positively surprised by the caliber of people on TikTok that are participating. Like, it's pretty awesome, to be honest with you. I wasn't expecting it, and that's me expressing my, I guess, prejudices. I wasn't expecting TikTok to have such mindful participants in this. This is in Kansas City. Exactly. This nightclub is going to be in the River Market area of Kansas City, which is even still to this day. I've been in theory, my address has been here for 4 years. I've been in Tokyo for 2 of those, year and a half of those. But it still sounds funny for me to say, yes, I'm in Kansas City. Like, oh, yes, I am. I'm in Kansas City. I mean, I lived in LA for a couple decades, lived in New York, went to college there, whatever. But yes, well, to digress, Kansas City is where Side Club is going to be. Thank you, Tracy. Yeah, we are talking about creating a J-shaped bar anyway. So a curved structure that allows for a 3-dimensional or a 360 viewing of the space. I think that doesn't work. Does not work. Uh-oh, TikTok needs attention. TikTok is extremely needy. You know what I'm gonna do, everybody? I need to take a break for like a minute. I'm gonna shut down the stream and I will be back in like 1 minute. So please come back. I would appreciate it if you did. I want to see you. Come back. Thank you. Love you. Talk to you soon. Like literally 60 seconds from now. Come back. Come back. I challenge you to come back. Please, Jennifer. Jennifer Galliot, come back. All right, somebody drank all my damn wine. This is a tragedy. Where's the wine glass? Oh, I get a little left in the glass. Okay. Hello, everyone. Who has come back? Who came to visit? Okay. The doctor is operating. Where are my tools? Okay, that's not working. Hello, everyone. Welcome back if you were here before. I was gone for maybe 45 seconds. Hopefully that wasn't too long. Hello, everyone. More Nihongo. Actually, that might be Mandarin. No, it's Nihongo. I don't know. I'm not that good. Wish I was. I tried. I tried to learn Nihongo. Didn't do, I mean, I did okay. I learned hiragana, katakana, some catchphrases. I thought it was clever. Then I realized I was not even beginning to learn Nihongo. And to do so was futile. Tessa, thank you for coming back. I appreciate you. And Tricklight, wasabi, how are you? Wasabi. Does anybody else remember the 80s commercial? Wasabi. Okay, well, I mean, the flame hand thing is better. Anyway, it's still not working, but better. Better. See what we can do. It's getting better. Slowly, methodically, periodically, installationally. That's how we're going right there. Headspace. Don't let that make headspace. Yes. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I appreciate you. Trick light. Thank you. Let's, I don't know. Somebody, let's instigate a new line of conversation. What is going on for everyone out there? Tell me about you. Let's change the dynamic a little bit. Tell me about you. Chilling in my reading room and painting for the first time in months. Fantastic, Tessa. You know what, Tricklight? I concur in light entirely. Like, we are all human. You know, maybe we're getting to some form of debate and not agree on something, but you know what we can agree upon is that we are all human and have, as Morrie Siebert said, human and need to be loved, just like everyone else does. We all have the same basic human needs. Now, what do we associate with that is unique to us. We all have the same needs for love, acceptance, connection. Can't intellectualize yourself on that. I tried. Didn't work. Didn't even do that. Wow, played guitar. And got some lyrics out yesterday, so I guess that's a win. I'm not guessing. That is a win. That is, you made art today. That's what matters, right? Because in that case, maybe there wasn't anyone listening, right? Maybe it was just you. So back to my story, what is art, right? Or art is when the inception/conception happens in the eye of the beholder. You are both the creator and the beholder, and that still qualifies as art. So don't act like you're off the hook. You made art that day. Even if you were the only one listening. Yeah. I would say that, well, as far as you as a vessel, you know, making it for yourself is the only answer. That's all you got. There is no such thing as making art for anyone else. If you try to tell yourself, if there isn't, there's not. It's all this is for you. It's all for you. That's all you got. All we've got is ourselves. Honestly, speaking for someone who's, you know, I'm in it to win it. I have a marriage and a relationship, blah, blah, blah. But honestly, at the end of the day, all we have is ourselves. What is my marriage to me? That's what matters. What is my wife's marriage to her? Well, that's up to her. Well, limited time. I would encourage you to limit your time more. Don't focus on time. Do 30-second gesture drawings. Embrace the short time. I encourage you to do 30-second, 1 minute, no more than 5-minute gesture drawings so that you can embrace time limitation as a positive. Does that make sense? Does that resonate for you? Embrace the time limitation. Don't use it as an excuse. Embrace it. Bring value. Let the limitation of time bring value. Do gesture drawings. Fast, fast, fast. You'll find that you can create absolute beauty with minimum number of lines. what you're saying, but thank you. You didn't sculpt anything, but your fingers around that cheap glass of. I don't know what you're saying, but I presume the answer is thank you. Or not. You've done nothing. You're very harsh, Jen. You might want to consider that. Right now, I am trying to figure out what I want to do with this right here, which is how do I make it look like the bird is made of flames in her hand or engulfed in flames, of course, in clay. But, you know, your critical observation is so welcome. Thank you, Jen. Maybe you want to turn your scathing tongue back on yourself and ask yourself why you feel the need to be so. You might find an answer. Thank you, Cal. And buyers are so bad I have to walk over to see at about 1970. And users back. Jen, I don't think anything you've said worth a response, so no, I'm not going to respond to you. I guess when you've got a stream, you can get out your Play-Doh and you can show us how it's done. Well, that's interesting. So, I graduated from art school in about 98, and I've been working in visual effects for 20 years, working on various movies. And then, sorry, trying to catch up there. Yes, graduated from art school in 98, went to Los Angeles, started working on movies, and you know, when you're a young person, you want to make a career, you want to make a name for yourself. What was my focus? My first big movie was Harry Potter, the first one, and then I worked on Stuart Little 2 at the same time. At that point, I actually felt like I was old and, you know, experienced, so I then left Sony Pictures, working on big movies, and went to independent films, which honestly I had the best working experience I ever had at that point. I worked on movie adaptation with Spike Jones, and that was truly a remarkable experience. He was awesome. You know, I was at the premiere of that. I'm standing next to Brad Pitt and Jodie Foster, and the director walked up to me and he said, "How did you feel about your work in the film?" And I'm like, "You are truly an artist, Spike, because you're asking me how I thought about my artwork in your film." Most directors I've worked with are, you know, narcissists, right? They're worried about their film. They would not consider the visual effects artist's perspective. Right? Spike he's a class act. I loved working with Spike a lot. Definitely my best, and it also made a reputation for me amongst the visual effects world. You know, people in the visual effects world knew who I was after that because I did that entire piece. I shouldn't say entire. I did a good amount of that, almost entirely by myself. I had a very good compositor. I'm sorry, I still can't think of her name. A very good compositor I was working with on that, but I did all the 3D. I had a good support staff. I had one guy helping me do renders. He was also very good. Can't think of his name. Goddamn, having an elder moment. But for the most part, you know, that was my project. So anyway, I made a name for myself at that point. Went back to digital domain. Worked on Peter Pan, the Peter Pan film. That was great. I've been on this. I'm probably getting close to 60 hours into this sculpture, to be honest with you. Since January. Yeah. So if you really want to know, you can go to the link tree up there, and you can go to the YouTube channel, and you can literally see every minute I've spent on this thing is documented on YouTube. I believe it starts January 7th. And, you know, a couple hours a day, 1 week of totally being sick and not touching it, that sort of thing. So I'm guessing I'm about 60 hours in. I'm using Plastiline. Yes, exactly. Plastiline is oil-based clay. Roma Plastilina. Well, I think Roma is a brand. I'm not sure. Anyway, it's Plastiline clay. It's oil-based clay. That's what I'm using. I don't know, I'm kind of fiddling around here because I'm exploring. I'm not sure what I'm doing. I want to make it look like this bird is made of flame. It's supposed to be a phoenix. And I'm trying to make it look like flame is wrapping around her, embracing her. At the same time, there's a mechanical reason I'm doing this, which is I want to thicken her wrist, because this is going to be, no matter how I cast it, shit ton of weight on her wrist. So we're trying to thicken it a little bit, functionally, while still narratively keeping up this concept. So I don't feel a little bit like this is exploratory, because I don't have like, oh, that's the visual I'm going for. I don't have this worked out in my mind yet. Well, it's oil-based, so it's never going to dry out. I do use, where's the camera right now? I use Aquaphor, and I use it mostly like when I'm kind of in the ballpark of where I want it to be, and Aquaphor permeates the clay base and makes it softer. And it does absorb dents. The clay does generally, like I use it on her butt, and her butt right now is fairly hard, right? It does eventually soak in, and get back to the normal consistency and hardness when it's not being manipulated. Manipulating Plastiline is what makes it soft. More plastic. So, well, thank you, Mona. You have a beautiful name, Mona. Did you choose that name, or is that your actual given name? Did your parents name you Monarch? That's a beautiful name. Looks like the sketch. Yeah, the sketch. Yeah, I did the sketch in, I don't know, whatever, an hour or something. It was much more of a geometry challenge because for the most part, I actually lined up geometrically. So I drew the sketch and then I plotted points. I don't pretend I'll ever know Spanish. My Spanglish also sucks. Wow, what's happening? Super excited, laugh loud. I haven't seen Sculptor work in a while. Well, thank you, dude. Magical Fern, I say dude, but non-gender specific dudeness. Thank you. Greetings from Colombia. Well, thank you. I think one that okay, let me take a step back from my little digress there. I grew up here in the Midwest, and I longed desperately for the rest of the world, anything in the rest of the world. I had to get the hell out of here. Really, really bad. And I did. I went to art school in New York, traveled, and then I moved to Los Angeles. I've owned business in Moscow. I just spent about a year and a half in Tokyo, worked all over Europe. Getting out was very important to me. Now I'm back in the Midwest. I'm in Kansas City. The world has changed. Access is different. But I still very much embrace, like you saying, you know, hello from Colombia. And I love the fact that we can do this. I can be in my basement in Kansas City and connect with you in Colombia. I don't know. It makes it okay, right? It makes life okay. It makes reality okay. We can do this. We can do this thing. We can do this together. Some of that. I see how it is done. Hola. Hola, I know. Well, the time and dedication. I mean, sure, yeah. I mean, I don't really feel like this is a time dedication kind of piece. Yes, I've been fiddling with it, you know, like I said, through the month of January, now February, so like probably 60 hours-ish in. So sure, time dedication, but this isn't a time dedication kind of mindset for me. This is just like, I'm just doing it, right? I've enjoyed every second of this. I am in no hurry to finish, to be honest with you. When it gets done, it gets done. I'm cool with it. You know, it took however long it takes to get done, I'll be cool with it. I think when it is done, I'll instantaneously know it. That's generally my experience of like, oh, I've been fiddling with this and I just hit that metric of I'm no longer exploring. I'm now, you know, trying to impress myself or others with my sculpting ability or something. It's like, yep, nope, you're done right then. As soon as you step away from I'm exploring, and now you're in the I'm trying to impress someone with how good I am, time to be over. Time to be done now. And I haven't hit that. Nowhere, I'm not near that. But it will come on all of a sudden. Like, I'm okay with the fingerprints and the smudges and the okay with the big clumps of clay. I'm okay with all that. I mean, I'm not sure how far the bird goes. I might just refine the face and leave everything a clumpy mess of clay. I mean, I'll probably refine the tail some. It's looks a little Play-Doh-ish. But yeah, it's gonna happen all of a sudden. All of a sudden, I'm gonna be like, oh, nope, I'm done now. I didn't know I was done, and just done. I'm a female. Okay, Magic Bird, thank you for clarifying. But dude is a word I use often. If you get a chance, totally look into. Okay, all right, well, dudette. Can I call you dudette? Are you okay with that? Can you be a dudette, vernacularly? Gregory Wyatt and the Modern Art Foundry in New York. Oh, nice. Very nice. Yeah, I'm familiar with them. Knowing they're done a struggle. Well, my advice is stop struggling, you know? Let me clarify that. Jiu-jitsu, all right? I love jiu-jitsu. I grew up doing judo. Jiu-jitsu was not popular at the time. I grew up doing jiu-jitsu. And the one thing I like about the jiu-jitsu philosophy is that you're constantly improving the position. You're not in trying to win one move. You're trying to improve the position. Okay, that's one interesting philosophy. But more specifically, what I'm getting at right now is, like I once heard a jiu-jitsu instructor say, take the pain off your face. In other words, when you're making pain on your face, you're focusing on the pain. You're literally having a conversation with yourself where you're telling yourself the pain is the process. And you're like, oh, I'm in pain. I'm experiencing pain. All right, that's what making a pain face means in jiu-jitsu. I'm in pain, I'm gonna make a pain face. And take the pain off your face means stop trying to impress yourself with your own pain. Stop trying to impress yourself with the pain of the process. And I think that applies to art absolutely directly. Take the pain off your face. Stop embracing in the suffering. It just is what it is. It feels the way it is. It's not pain. It's only pain if you define it as pain. It's only suffering if you define it as suffering. Move forward. Improve the position. In the jiu-jitsu sense, move forward. Well, I don't actually agree with that. Tell yourself someone will love this. You know what? No, I don't agree with that. I think there are two possible answers there. Yourself, you love it, because that's obviously a self-ingratiating experience. But I mean, right now, I'm just like, I feel like there's an ideal version of this. This is starting, like as a parent, I'm doing this as a child, and this is manifesting. There's an ideal version of this, and it's my responsibility to manifest that ideal version of this thing, right? But it's not for other people. This isn't a selfless act. I'm not doing this for anyone, other than her. I'm doing this for this, and I say her as in the piece, not this particular figure. I'm doing this for the piece. There's an ideal version of this piece that I want it to exist. Well, okay, I like that answer, Magic Fern. I just enjoy pulling the object from the clay. That is an extremely adequate answer, in my opinion. I just enjoy, yes, okay, yes. I enjoy the process. Fantastic. You know, back to jiu-jitsu, nobody becomes an MMA fighter if they don't enjoy the process. They just absolutely don't. Like, you have to enjoy the process, otherwise, no. This is not how you want to spend your life. So, you enjoy the process is a fantastic answer. This is just me, you know, I'm just saying my thing, I'm just saying what I think. Whatever it takes, you know, whatever mythology, whatever, you know, whatever story it takes for you, that's the thing that works. This is just mine. I'm just sharing my cognitive mythology, as it were, with you. If it works for you, please take it. If it makes you make art today, take it. Run with it. Tell me about it. I want to hear about it. I want to see it. I need to set up a Discord channel, I think, right? Because would that not be the easiest way for you guys to share your artwork, not only with me, but with the group, right? Is Discord the best way for you to share artwork with the group, like on this channel? Tell me I'm wrong. Okay. All right. Tricklight says Discord all the way. All right. Homework assignment. If Boombody's on, he's going to roll his eyes and land blast me. He's been saying that to me for, I don't know, for at least 3 months. Because I want this to be an awesome collaborative environment. I want to stop in the middle of my stream and be like, holy smacks. Does anyone, you know, did everyone see what just got posted? I'll work on it. I'll make that happen. I'll figure that out. And then I'll put it in the link tree. Piper Ridgem. Thank you. I don't know why I had to go Irish there. Piper Ridgem. Well, thank you, everyone. I appreciate you. Yeah, I mean, it's not as, you know, the beginning is fun, right? And if you go back to those beginning videos, it's a shit show. It's a mess, but it's fun. You know, the huge things that are happening, the bending and the shaping, and now it's, you know, now there's less happening. You know, but you have to be more sensitive. You have to be like the ability to see the subtleties that are changing. And it's going to continue, like, as this gets more refined, and who knows, like I said earlier, all of a sudden I'm going to realize it's done, and I didn't see it coming. All of a sudden it's like, oh, no, you're done right now. Welding, holy smokes, absolutely. I'm naming this the hand of fate, right? Because I don't know if you've perceived the full narrative, but just in case you haven't, you might notice that she has a knife in her backhand. So the idea here is that, yes, she is receiving a phoenix landing in her hand, and she has this almost sardonic but pleasant acceptance, joyful, but yet sad face. And the bird is landing in her hand. She's allowing the hand, the bird is coming to her. Bird chooses. You know, a bird chooses. You don't put your hand up and a bird land in it. You know, put your hand up and a sparrow's not going to land in it. The bird is choosing to land in her hand. But then she has in her backhand a knife. So the idea here is the phoenix reinvents itself. But she is a little bit different. She is going to sacrifice her phoenix, and she's going to manifest her own self-actualization and reincarnation. She's basically going to sacrifice her phoenix, her bird, and manifest the next version of her. That's the narrative here for me. I mean, if you've got a different narrative, I'd love to hear it. You're like, oh no, well, this resonates with me, because I might hear you and be like, holy crap, that's awesome, and I'm going to steal that idea and incorporate it. Well, thank you. Laughing as my friend who lives in Phoenix. Yeah, I would say that the face is very simplistic, but there is a sense of peace and sadness, but happiness. You know, and I think that would be the case. You know, like this is literally a sacrificing of self. This isn't like giggly joy, but it's not nothing. That's the intention. What kind of clay? That's an easy answer. This is Roma plastiline. It's an oil-based clay. Yeah, I did. I think I spent a lot of time in the beginning not sculpting, but literally just looking, and thinking. Angles. This whole piece is based on triangles. Triangle. There to always be a three-pointed triangle of every dynamic. No matter what angle you look at it, I wanted to be a triangle. And I feel like I accomplished it. A dynamic shape. And I just literally hit her total player. Okay, let's not do that. For some reason, it's not melding together like I'd like it to. Scorpio. 3 stages. Scorpio, Phoenix, Eagle. Nice. Love that story. I think I know it, but honestly, if you want to type it down, I'd love to read it. I'll read it aloud if you want to type it in. Where did I get my table? I made it. I got this table at Home Depot. These are just 2x4s and plywood. The turntable is, you know, I can answer your question as far as the metal turntable. The thing is, big ass cast iron turntable. It could hold hundreds of pounds, and I don't know where I got it because I got it 20 years ago. But the rest of this is just plywood and 2x4s from Home Depot. Yeah, I want to hear the Sculpting story. Who is she? Well, you know what? I haven't identified her. I think she's you. She is, I hope you empathize with her. I hope that she's you, that she's not a specific narrative. She's not anyone from mythology, as far as I know. I made this up. It's a made-up character. Yeah, I will not color this. If you want to buy it in resin or whatever, you can paint it if you want to. I'm much more about physical form, 3-dimensionality. I'm not a sculpture painting person. Okay, where do I need to go next? What's the next big thing I need to do? Let's take a step back. Let's not get into details. What do I need to do next? Is the plywood part of the piece? No, the piece is going to stop at the plywood. So when I cast it, there'll be the mold. I mean, it will stop here. Like this is going to be this outline around clay. That will be the extent of the casted material. I mean, I need to clean it up a little bit, but the plywood is not part of the final. Absolutely not. Well, hawk or phoenix. It's a phoenix, but I'm definitely taking on predatory bird features like a hawk or an eagle. I think it's a good trick light. I think it's a good interpretation. Let me give me 1 second. Let me back in just a second, all right? Oh, I'm back. Sorry about that. Wow, everybody stayed. I love you people. Gone for like 45 seconds, and everyone stayed. Thank you, Sid. Smoking. Sid smoking. We'll have to wait for Discord. All right, so yeah, I will definitely have to set up a Discord soon. Get everybody on that so that we can share on that. Because I want to see your guys' work. I want to see your artwork. What the hell I've done with this tail? It's kind of out of control. I don't know what I'm going to do. I think it's something. Jesus. Kind of got out of control. Hey, what's going on? Air dry. No, it is an oil-based clay, so when I'm done, it has to be cast and molded in another material. So initially, I'll probably do a resin, and then I'll do a bronze. Love it. Yeah, absolutely. I'll do a bronze. I mean, how can I not, right? There's a little nostalgia there for the old school medium. To do a bronze, gotta do a bronze, gotta do a bronze, gotta do a bronze. I mean, some people have asked for pewter, some asked for silver. So we talked about a rose bronze, I think it was. That sounds awesome. Patina, right? Makes sense. Her bottom right hip, nest of eggs. That's a whole different narrative. It's interesting. I like that. I like the idea, right? Like a mother dynamic. It definitely changes the story if I were to put a nest of eggs down there. more to look at, more narrative to fill in. It's interesting. Right, she's protecting him. It's an interesting idea, for sure. Hey, that's not what I want. Well, maybe it is what I want to do. Interesting. Okay. Flaming orange gold. It could be the corpse protecting the scorpion from the phoenix. That's an interesting idea. Well, I don't want to detract from it being about her, experience, her personal dynamic with the phoenix. Definitely interesting ideas. I incorporated into other pieces. Excuse me. Right? The rose idea sounds cool. I need to look into it more. I haven't put much attention to. Fuck, this thing won't attach. I haven't put much attention into that yet, but yeah. Where did I put my squeezle? Yeah, I think so too. I think their first experience for me is going to see it in the resin, which will be just form. It's like a light gray and just seeing in a form. And then after that comes the questions of like, okay, well, what? Kind of materials make the most sense for this subject matter. It's really interesting trying to sculpt something ephemeral like flame and still communicate that. I don't know, it's hard. Ephemeral in the definitive, right? Because sculpture is extremely definitive. So you're trying to convey the ephemeral within definitive. And it's been done. And there are people that have done like transparent cloth, right? And conveyed in marble. And it's like, holy crap, you did it. It's just freaking remarkable. I had the same issue you're having. You can always weld it in, right, at the end. Sure. Does your artistic brain ever stop? You know what? I think when my artistic brain stops is when I wish I was dead. I mean, to be honest, to be clearly honest, like depression sets in. I don't want to be here anymore. Does my artistic brain ever stop? Yes. And when it does, I don't fucking want to be alive anymore. So it almost becomes a defense mechanism of like, I have to keep going, because not continuing to go means it's time to go. Not continuing to go means it's time to go, to answer your question. Like, we're done now. So fight or flight slash survival says only option. I'm really glad I did. That is a lot better now. Yeah, painting is very color. I think I've realized over time, I've done a lot of painting and sculpting in the last, say, 9 months, but I think I've realized in this process that, like, you know, what are you? You know, the important thing is to know thyself in the Platonian sense. And I think at my core value, what am I? I'm a sculptor. I think I've learned that in the last several months. I love drawing and I enjoy painting. But what am I, my core value? I think it is sculpting. I'm naming this piece The Hand of Fate. Metal art, I don't know. What about metal art? I love metal art. What are you referring to when you say, what about metal art? Metal art's awesome. In my childhood, I did a lot of welding. Young childhood, I mean, not that young, like 15, I did a lot of welding. Not well. I wasn't a good welder. I did a lot of it. If I were to take a welding again, I would definitely go at it much more academically. Take a pause, learn the techniques. And the last time, when I was younger, I did it, and it was almost out of necessity. It was a shit show. I'll have to sculpt it. All right, bring it on, Jennifer. Come on, don't do that. Okay. All right. Take a step back. Take a look. Take a thought. I do like the idea of making this front talon on the bird a parallel shape to this knife, but I haven't really got there yet. But I like it. I haven't completely conveyed that. I'm more worried about the flames on her hand to make it look like flames. I've been working on this since January 7th. It's all on the YouTube channel. So that's why I posted the link tree. Link up there. You can go to, God damn it, go to the link tree if you want to. You can see the YouTube channel. You can go back. You can see every step. Some of it embarrassing, some of it cringy, but you can see it all of this on the YouTube archival, which I don't have much following on YouTube, but it's really awesome as far as having that archival value. So yeah, go check it out if you want to, if you want to know the history. But short answer is approximately January 7th, I believe, is when I started this. And so it's been approximately, my estimate is it's been about 60 hours-ish that I put into this in that timeline, in that time frame. A lot of exploration, right? And sometimes it's just like, stop sculpting, stop working, just take a pause, take a rest, but look at it. Where are we right now? What's working? What's not working? What the hell's going on? Sometimes working is sitting there having a glass of wine and looking at it. That's working, right? Because you're trying to figure it out. What the hell's going on here? What's going on? Tell me what's going on. Do I have a muse? I have had muses in my life, and muse is really a projection, right? A homunculus, to use the Greek term, and they're fantastic. When you have a muse, it feels so enriching, right? But it's not real. Literally, muse, by definition, is not real. Feels great, and I have had muses in a variety of senses. I've had intellectual muses, I've had artistic, aesthetic, philosophical, physical, all these kind of muses I've had in my life. For this piece, I'm going to say no, I don't have a muse. That being said, physically, this piece does resemble my wife, right? And so she's my figure. But I haven't had a muse in a minute. And a muse is a very seductive concept, right? Like, you want a muse. But I think when you get old, right? I'm not ancient, but I'm old enough, and you get a few years on you, God damn it, I keep fucking this up. When you get a few years on you, you stop looking for answers on the outside, as it were. The muse becomes less important. I think, as you get older, at least for some people, because you stop looking for answers externally. I'll tell you a story. You want to hear your story? I'll tell you a story. You want to hear it? So I was training in my gym in Los Angeles, and I was in powerlifting. Totally hobby. I was hobbyistically in powerlifting. You know, and I've hit some good numbers. You know, I've hit a 650-pound deadlift. I've been over 600 pounds on squat. I've hit a 425 bench press. Not world-class numbers, but, you know, not bad numbers. But this is all natural, right? All natural, just eating beef and lifting weights. And I look at my trainer one day, and this is Los Angeles, so it is what it is. And I look at my trainer and I said, hey man, you know, should I consider any kind of performance-enhancing drugs? I don't have any kind of moral issue with that. I'm not a professional athlete. You know, in some cases, a drug like that, any kind of hormonal drug, might actually enhance longevity, right, if it's used prudently. I'm not inherently morally averse to it. So I just bring it up to him, like, hey man, should I consider this? And I know that he knows about performance-enhancing drugs. He's a physical trainer in Los Angeles. He's a bodybuilder. Looks right at me and says, stop looking for answers outside of yourself. Blew my goddamn mind. Stop looking for answers outside of yourself. Oh my God. Okay. Okay. And for the rest of my life, ever since, that was like almost 10 years ago, stop looking for answers outside of yourself. Wow. So when you ask me, do I have a muse? I love having a muse. I love it. It is orgasmic to have a muse, psychologically, intellectually, emotionally. But I don't look for answers outside of myself anymore. If that means anything to anybody. Is my wife my muse? No, my wife is not my muse, because if my wife were my muse, that would mean my relationship with my wife was superficial. It didn't have the depth, right? I mean, that'd be great. Like, it's fantastic, especially early marriage. Early marriage, to have your wife be your muse, oh my God, that's amazing. It's awesome, it's energy, it's fantastic. I'm now about 15, almost 16 years in. I don't think having your wife as your muse is a long-term solution, because it's not authentic, right? A muse is by definition a projection. You're projecting, right? Jung called it the anima. You're projecting your anima upon another human being. A muse is by definition not a real human. You can't have an authentic marriage with a muse. You can't, right? So, I mean, having a muse with a girlfriend, oh my God, that's awesome. Having a muse projection on a marriage means your marriage isn't gonna last. It's not real. So, anyway, I'm sorry, I just totally diatribed. I don't know if anybody wanted to hear that. I just gave it to y'all. Been married 50 years. Well, okay, I'm a sophomore compared to you. 50 goddamn years. Wow. JoJo, I don't know if you're male or female, but wow. 50 years is more than a minute. Wine gets me the feeling. Exactly, in Vino Veritas. I'm going to be getting a little honest with y'all. A little Venus. A little Vino Venus. Yeah. Yeah, what was I watching? It was this amazing, Jesse, what was his name? I don't know. Anyway, it was a movie I was watching with him, and it was an elderly black man. And he's like, I'm going to get a little violent with y'all, but chill for a second. He just literally said, you know, when you mess yourself in a movie theater because you're 80 years old and you can't control your bowels, and the only person there to support you, and who's there for you, is this woman that you've been with for 50 years, that's when you're finally in love. That's when you're literally a soulmate, is when you're absolutely at your bottom. You're at your bottom. You know, you're at the limit. Your physicality has given up. You have nothing left. And that human being is still there. That's next level. That's not a muse. You're no longer talking about muse. You're talking about something else. Venus. No, well, this is definitely not Venus. This female figure is definitely not Venus. Venus Malio Venus is literally the antithesis of what we just talked about. Venus is a projection. Venus is projection. She is not reality. She doesn't exist. That's why we need the gods. We need the gods because they don't exist. Yes, JoJo, I feel like we're in the same room together. You got a few miles ahead of me. But I feel like we're in the same room together right now. The whole deal. The whole deal. This whole marriage thing. Whole deal. You know, I'm sorry, I'm not going to share the story. I don't think any of the room's ready for the stories, but share except for you and me, so I'm not going to share it. Everybody wants us to be Medusa. I did make a Medusa. Go to that. I got the link tree up there. You can go take a look at a painting I did of Medusa, which I like. I like the Medusa painting. And that's an actual Medusa intended to be Medusa. Everybody wants us to be Medusa, but it's not intended to be. It can be, but it's not intended to be Medusa. But I do have a Medusa painting. You can see it, and I would love to hear your feedback. 1975. Husband had me jump out of the van in the desert, be overheating, get back. You lost me, Jojo. How many hours? Like a day? I'm somewhere in the area of 60 hours into this thing, into the sculpture. Well, I think it's her hair. I think her hair definitely makes people want it to be, but she has serpentine hair, which I'm cool with. I mean, I was trying to make flame, which flame and clay is going to look serpentine, so that's cool. In the van. Oh my, flea all over it. Ooh. Rose. I don't know the Spanglish there. Sorry. Hermosa trabajo. Felicidades. I think I mean father. Felicidades. I'm sorry. Female from Hades. Maybe Hades? I don't know. Hades? Hades, yeah, exactly. Characters up. Oh my god, I just got restricted? I just got restricted for nudity. Are you fucking kidding me? TikTok's AI is fucking retarded. I'm trying not to be belligerent. Beautiful work. Congratulations. Oh, thank you. I was picking them off him. Oh, I was giving a BJ to the truck. Thumbs up. Nice. It's a hell of a story, Jojo. Wow. I was retarded TikTok AI just flagged me as sexual content, which makes me want to kill somebody because how many girls dance around and show their boobies on this freaking platform? Extension of her hair. Yeah, absolutely. I wanted to look like an extension of her hair. So I'm trying to decide whether or not I just want to call it a night or I want to stop and restart my stream. You guys tell me. Do you guys want more? If you want me to do so, I will stop my stream, restart it so it doesn't have a flag of sexual content, and keep going. We can keep going tonight. Or if it's time for bed, we can call it and it's be time for bed. What do you guys think? What's your request? It's going to be a knife in her hand. Her hand is she's holding a knife. You want to restart? Denise? Yeah, all right, we got multiple people saying restart. All right. So I'm going to stop the stream. I'm going to take a 45-second break. I'll come back and restart it. You guys come back. TikTok can eat poop for its AI telling me it's just sexual content when there's girls doing things on TikTok that should be illegal. I'll be back momentarily. Wasabi, everybody. Welcome back. If you're new, welcome. What shall we talk about? It's a quote from Raiders of the Lost Ark. What shall we talk about? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do blasphemy. I'm gonna mix a little bit of bourbon in with my wine. Don't tell anybody. My villainous choice, especially considering it's blends, which is extremely good and extremely hard to come by. Okay. Reality's happening. Or I remember I was in Tokyo. It's about a year ago. It was Tokyo and I was on the subway. I was having this culmination, a moment. If you looked at my Instagram, you would see it. It was just this moment of like, I don't know what's real anymore. I was having a bit of a fall down. I don't know what's real. And I literally posted on Instagram, this is all really happening. And it was all really happening. It doesn't feel like it now. Even looking back, it doesn't feel like it was really happening. Tokyo for me is a dream. A little bit like the end of the movie Labyrinth. Jennifer Connelly's looking and she's seeing all of her friends from the other world. Tokyo is this other thing that I'm still trying to figure out, did any of that really happen? Now I have plenty of evidentiary facts. You know, I have friends that still live there that I correspond with on a regular basis. And I have memories. I have Instagram posts, as much as anything, that remind me of the things that happened to me in Tokyo. I don't know. It's a little. I don't know. It was my Moscow. You know, the same thing happened to me in 2008 in Moscow. As far as like, is this all really happening? I don't know. I got very native. I think I'm extremely American. I think I'm an American person, and I'll tell you why I say that, because I have significantly considered not being an American. I have significantly considered my life in Moscow in 2008, 9, 10. I thought about staying in Moscow. I thought maybe I'm a Moscovite. You know, at that point in time, Moscow was perceived as, you know, like an edgy version of Europe. Right? It was not, you know, the perception of today. And where I was at the time was different. I was at a different age. I didn't have children. Right? Maybe I am a Muscovite. Maybe I won't go home. Maybe I'll stay here. Maybe I'll stay in Moscow. Maybe I'll live in Moscow. I got there. I got really close to being there. I didn't do it. In retrospect, I'm extremely glad, obviously. Jesus H. Christ, I'm glad I'm not in Moscow right now. So it's not that. I'm not in no way expressing that. But I think it's more about like being sympathetic to that person that I was, you know, which is similar to the sympathy I have towards the person I was a year ago in Tokyo. Try to have sympathy. It's very hard to have sympathy for yourself, honestly. At least for me it is. Very hard to have sympathy for oneself. Very hard. It's easy to be judgmental. It's hard to have sympathy for yourself and in the context where I was at the time. And a year ago, down was up and up was down. Thank you, Haley. Thank you for sending love in the chat, Haley. I appreciate you. I appreciate love. I think as an older man, I know I appreciate things I didn't in my youth. When I was in my youth, I don't think I would appreciate love per se, as she just expressed to Haley. Be like, yeah, whatever. I think this juncture, I absolutely appreciate you, appreciate love. I appreciate a lot of things. I'm in a very different juncture. So maybe that's it. Maybe I appreciate me being at a different juncture in life than I was. Things are different. Things are very, very different. I'm different. Who gives a shit whether things are different? I'm different. Pretty hard to change. Changing is hard. Changing is not natural. Welcome, Denise and Haley. Welcome to everyone. Yeah, no, I'm touched. I'm touched. I'm emotionally persuaded and touched by the fact that you people want to spend time with me. Because honestly, all we have is time. Like, we're going to die, right? We're going to die someday. So the factor of that means that anything that we contribute to other people is literally our sole essence is time. And you people are contributing your time to me in this moment, and it is fantastic that you are doing so. Thank you. It gives me this intense sense of value that you want to be here with me doing this. Thank you. Wow. Tick light. Is it tick light? I can't see for shit. I gotta zoom here. Trick light. I've been saying it wrong. Trick light. Nothing more alienating than saying someone's name wrong. Thank you for that. 2,000 likes. That's a lot of clicking, dude. Thank you. It's a hell lot of. You're gonna get like carpal tunnel syndrome from that if you literally had to click 2,000 times. I'll get the Discord up so we can start communicating. You know what I like about that concept? It's interesting because the Discord would be platform agnostic. So people from Twitch want to contribute to the Discord. People from YouTube or from TikTok want to contribute to the same Discord. I like that. That's interesting, right? Now we're in an interesting place of universal contribution. Oh, look here. Our model has arrived. She won't come show us. No, everyone wants to see it. Everyone says, who's my muse? And I talk about my wife. Nope, but she won't come in. She's right. She's literally 10 feet away from me, everyone. And my wife won't come over here and demonstrate. How many people? We've got a variety of people, a large number of people who are watching and wondering what my inspiration is. You dress up. No, you have to dress down for the occasion. She's literally wearing a scarf. You don't dress up for this, you dress down for this. Yes, Mona wants to see you. Mona wants you to come over here. And she's gone. No, she will not come on the camera. We all heard good things about you. Exactly. I have not been talking shit about my wife on this stream. Thank you, Tay. We love wifey already. Wife's a huge pain in the ass, which is why I married her. If you really want to be honest, you want to take a step back, it's like, I didn't marry the easy girlfriends. I married the huge pain in the ass. Obviously, that's my type. I had an interesting moment today. Shall I share it with you? Do you guys want to hear an interesting moment? So I'm there with my business partners on site for this new project we're working on, which is going to be a nightclub, gallery, very interesting experience. These are very interesting guys. These guys are actually older than me. I'm 50, they're older than me. Very married, very committed. And it's interesting because guys, with our testosterone and our values and our, boners, we're always thinking about women, right? And so when guys get together, especially young men, they want to talk about women and sex, and metaphorical conversations come up all the time. In this dynamic, which was interesting with these particular men, they would, instead of talking about having sex with women, like just randomly, like allegorical sex with women conversations, they would have allegorical sex with wives conversations. So they would, make joke about like, oh yeah, we're gonna build out this part of the facility. So when you're here having sex with your wife, as opposed to just like when you're in your 20s, it's like, yeah, when you're here having sex with a woman would be the allegorical conversation. In this conversation, it was when you're here with your wife, blah, blah, blah. It's like, all right, guys, I'm glad you feel comfortable with this version of the conversation. Sorry, so I felt the need to share that. Okay, so Tay is onto business. Yes, I added this 1/4 inch all thread last weekend to support this because I was feeling a little nervous about the support, but this will not be in the final piece. This is literally just here in the process. Oh, it was totally amusing. I mean, these are good guys. It was amusing. To hear the rhetoric of a 20-year-old from a 50-something-year-old's mouth, but it's about wives instead of just girls in general. It's like interesting. Anyway, it was interesting. These are very faithful men. These guys they're a good influence. They're very faithful, especially considering we're getting into something very, we're getting into this situation. We're creating literally a nightclub slash art gallery. There's going to be a lot of booze. These are very successful businessmen in this domain. They already have successful nightclubs. One of them probably has the most successful jazz club in Kansas City right now. Right? They this is not their first rodeo. They know what they're doing. So for that matter, I'm flattered and thrilled to be part of this. Like they literally see me as the venue. Like they're like, okay, we're not gonna do jazz again. We're not gonna do that again. We're gonna do Beau this time. I'm like, they're literally doing my thing. Like I'm the goddamn venue in these nightclubs. Like, holy Jesus Christ. Okay, all right, love you guys. Let's do this. So it's gonna be art. It's gonna be physical art, traditional art. I'm going to stream from there like we're doing right now. I'm going to stream this from the club. It's going to be digital, right, which is part of my career. So there's going to be I'm creating a video wall. It's 12 foot tall, 150 feet wide, wrapped around 2 walls to create an immersive experience. It's going to be the bomb. That's going to be awesome. Yeah, it's going to be amazing. So if you're in the Kansas City area, or even if you're not, you should come to the Kansas City area. Definitely, maybe through the Discord thing, we'll figure out how to set up like a dynamic. So when anyone comes to the club from this domain, get some kind of VIP treatment, because I want you to, first of all, because you guys are participating in the ideation. So yeah, like it's going to be a thing for you to show up. But yeah, get you some kind of VIP treatment. This is going to be a very sexy experience. For sure. Trick Light, come on over. You know what? You could come visit. You can find out some way to get you to visit, right? Just come visit, right? Variety of things. I can hook you up with a variety of visits, whether it's here in the Midwest, Los Angeles, New York. We can hook you up with some fun, exciting experiences if you want to come visit. Yeah, that's sculpting. Thank you. Although I don't feel like I'm sculpting, I'm more storytelling at the moment. Part of my co-processor is thinking about the sculpting, but yeah, mostly storytelling right now. I'm trying to figure out what I mean, I'm getting closer, like things are happening, kind of, with this flame. I want the bird is made of flame, and I want the flame to be embracing her eye, but it's not working. This region, basically, this area is not fucking making it. And I'm gonna have to deal with that. I don't have a conceptual worked out, so I'm literally just kind of vacillating / pontificating because I don't know where I want to go with that, to be honest. Jennifer Marquez, where are you from? Wish you could come out to your home. A show would be great. Yeah, so it's gonna be an art show, it's gonna be a digital art show, it's gonna be a traditional art show, there's gonna be a physical art show, performance art show. I've been meeting with contortionists, various performers, gonna be bands. This is gonna be goddamn awesome. I'm really looking forward to this experience that we're producing. And I'm loving my partners. Like they're solid. You grew up there. Nice. Wow. You grew up here. Well now. Miss Vale. Another rooster at the hen house. Chad Revhard, love you. So we're literally at the inception. We are receiving possession of the building in the Rivers Art District March 1st. So in about like 3 days, couple days, 2 days, we're receiving possession of the building. We don't even have possession of the building yet, but we're getting that on March 1st. So I'm hoping, ideally, hoping we'll be up and running in 6 months. So, you know, AKA September-ish, we'll be opening to at least, I mean, if not the public, to like a limited venue. Doing like a soft opening, to answer your question. So hopefully this piece will be in there, but a lot of digital will be there. So like I said earlier, I'm gonna make a 12-foot high by 150-foot wide across 2 walls projection screen of digital art. Yeah, Kansas City, Missouri, it's exactly right. That's where we are, right in the middle of the United States, Kansas City, Missouri. That's the score. I have not interviewed staff yet. Absolutely none. That's not my task, but I could, if you've got like suggestions or you want to participate, I could obviously, there's only 3 partners. And you know, if you got a thing, I can definitely put you in front of them. I'm focused on art and the video presentation. I have a huge task, right? Video is my problem, art is my problem, the venue is my problem, you know, the attraction, but I'm not in charge of bartenders and staff. But they're my partners, so like if you got, you want to, I can definitely connect you. Am I gonna paint this? No, I'm not gonna paint this. This is gonna be gray. I'm a 3-dimensional artist. Not even a response. I don't know what you fucking say. What did I not respond to? It's different than yours. I make kitchen, bathrooms, fireplaces, pieces of. Okay, well, okay, that's cool. I don't know what response did you want. Sorry, I missed it. You make what, fixtures? That sounds cool. That could be very cool. Just outside Joplin, Missouri. Nice, Chad Revhard. All right, can you like send me like a DM? Send me a DM, Chad. Like and I'll take a look at your stuff. Yeah, no, I'm like, I got two hands here and one holds booze. One is sculpting and one's booze. So no, I'm not scrolling shit. Yeah, send me a DM. That's, you know, it's all accessible. I've got my freaking link tree on the screen. You can find me if you want to read, if you want to access me. I'm here for sure. I'm not hiding. I think I'm running out of chutzpah though. What am I gonna do? I'm not there yet for sure. I'm liking. I mean, the bird is super crude, but I'm actually kind of liking it crude. I don't know. I might come back and do like a detail on the face and leave the rest of it just maybe the face. I don't like the tail yet. I need to rework the tail. Maybe do a detail on face and then just leave the rest of it a fucking mess. Kind of liking the mess. Not liking. Still not liking the hand arm connection. So that'll be some work. But we'll see. This 1/4 inch all thread is new. Like I did it over the weekend, just because I knew this was not. I mean, this bird is so freaking heavy. I think when we cast this, it'll be okay. I might have to. I might fill in the space between our hand and the bird with just clay. So like when it casts, this is a solid piece of material. Thank you. She's got some work to do. She ain't done yet. I'm liking the process. I'm enjoying the process. I'm not in a hurry to finish. I am excited about moving on, but we're not there yet. This marriage ain't over yet. Well, thank you. Heart ring. Well, your name's Heart Ring, for Christ's sake. Of course, you must feel it. Thank you, contrasted tint. Yeah. We're enjoying the Mona, you're still here. I love you, Mona. What is your name? Your name is just sultry. Mona. That is a sultry name, right? Who doesn't want to say my girlfriend's Mona? It's sultry. I think I need to call a respite. I think I need to take a break, come back to this. I guess at this point it's Thursday night, so in theory I won't be here till Monday. So I think I need to take a moment till Monday. You people are. Her hair is going to look fabulous in bronze. I agree. Thank you. Artist in KC, Annie Alexander. I'll look her up. No, who shows up at the end here? Someone just dangled me? I just got a dangle. Yeah, Mona.